First test of the fountains. Of course, it's making a huge mess on the
motore bicilindrico artigianale. Boom, come sono tutte cose.
Hello, Fred Bruins here, showing a biconical antenna that I put together over the weekend using 8 wire coat hangers. These are just your standard wire coat hangers, happen to be coated with white vinyl, but the whole thing put together doesn't look too bad and really surprised me. I was skeptical. I didn't think it would pull in a lot of signal. But it increased the number of stations that I received and the quality of the signal that I received. Surprisingly, I was very impressed. The coat hangers I cut about here and here, yielding a leftover piece like this, and that I'll save and use for repairs. I also cut off the looped end, and also a little bit of the wire that sticks up like that. At that point, it can become a little bit unstable because it's very easy for it to unscrew. But at least the vinyl coating, at that point, all I had to do was just sort of peel it off and cut it off. It came off easily. So 4 wire coat hangers made the base, 4 made the top. I put them together, the 4 coat hangers for the bottom, and then again for the top, with copper wire, using 24 gauge wire that's commonly used in crafts. I got mine at a department store, a little less than 7 cents a foot, so it's pretty inexpensive. This is a 4-inch wooden block, and you could drill a hole through the block, or I just happen to have some wood that already had a groove cut in it. Maybe they call that a rabbet, I don't know. And putting 2 of them together, it left me basically a hollow piece 4 inches long. It's important when you put it together, reportedly, that the 2 halves of the antenna not actually touch. You don't want metal to metal contact there. And so I put some duct tape, or not duct tape, but electrical tape in the middle. to keep them separated. I also drilled a hole through the side, two of them actually, to provide a place for me to fish some copper wire out that had been wrapped around the antenna, and from both the bottom and the top. And then I connected the copper wire to 2 screws and washers, and that allowed me to hook up my balun and my cable over to my computer, where I can watch television on my computer, since I have a tuner that allows me to do that. Anyway, it worked surprisingly well. I was really impressed with the quality. So you might want to give this a try. It's low cost. The hangers were $1.44, so you can see it was very inexpensive, and the copper wire, about 7 cents a foot. I only used a few feet of that. If you really have a kind of a, if it's too floppy when you first put these in your hole or groove, just wrap some extra duct tape around the whole thing until you get a nice snug fit. You'll still be able to adjust these somewhat, which is good because you want them as evenly spaced as possible. On the other hand, they're not so stiff that you can't just actually fold the whole thing flat, and which would be great if you had to move it, travel, whatever. It would still work. And I like the fact that these, because this is just part of the hanger that curved naturally, you have this this curved look here, and it makes it much safer. You're less likely to poke your eye out on something like this. So you may want to give it a try. It's worked very.
Rămăsesem dator cu prezentarea varojetului, unitatea de pompare care e destul de mare, incomodă, alimentată la 220, greu de ținut la ordiniș. Tocmai de aia am adaptat un furtun din cauciuc siliconic și tubulatura de pompare. Această țeavă care intră pe ordiniș, tot aici în partea mai groasă am montat o sită metalică și aici este camera de ardere a fitilului. Fitilul l-am arcuit ca pe o armonică, intră în camera de ardere, o să și pornesc, e foarte silențios, nu face multă gălăgie. Se aprinde fitilul, se mufează și se bagă pe ordiniș. Îmi pare rău, nu cred că se vede fumul. Bate și un pic vântul. Cam atât. Am terminat de ars. Asta a fost tot. E ușor de mânuit. Furtunul ăsta te ajută destul de mult. Salut!
Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. What I have here is a small ion thruster made out of tinfoil and wire. Basically, I have the positive connected to a wire right here that goes inside the tinfoil ring, and the negative is connected to the housing of the ion motor. When I turn this thing on, it will emit copious amounts of ozone, and what I try to achieve is a corona off of the center electrode, but no arcing. You get the most power just before arcing occurs, and I will demonstrate it here. I do not want to run this for long periods of time without protection because of the ozone, which, even though it smells very good, is quite harmful in large quantities. It can burn the lungs. So there you go, a small ion thruster from tinfoil.
Okay, for this next part, what I did is I took this mesh that I got at Walmart for about 90 cents, and then I took a single piece and I cut a hole in it to fit around the fan. And my plan is I'm going to put some multi-purpose adhesive that will bind to not only fabric but also the plastic. And I'm only starting out with one layer, but I plan to do a few layers to make this more sturdy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a square out of the jacket, and then get another piece of plastic, cut a square out of that, and adhesive that to it, so that when I go to sew it back in, it will look like a pretty nice piece into the jacket. So I'll go ahead and do that.
Shotgun shell full of airsoft BBs. Ready? Alright. Shotgun shell full of connects pieces. Alright. Shot those 2 chicken food bags, and this is out of 20 gauge. Airsoft BBs in the wad. Almost went through. See the BBs everywhere. And they ripped them apart. There's actually one stuck into the wood. Can't get that out. Yep.